Hey guys, Cephas here again with We Buys Houses Barbados. Today I just want to talk about again creative real estate and using one method, and that's what we call lease options. Some people know it as rent to own. Just want to go through a few options as into this is just an example of one scenario where if you have a property and this doesn't relate to the price. So the price I'm going to use here is a little steep, but you can pretty much use it with any figure you want. As I say, it all depends on the numbers that you're looking at. But in today's example, we're going to look at a property around $700,000, and let's get to it. So again, this is our all right, so in this scenario, I'm going to give you three options in terms of what we call rent to own, or well, I'm saying lease options. Some people know it as rent to own, but in this video, I'm going to say lease options. What it is where you buy a property, renting it for a period of time, an agreed period of time, and then buying it at the agreed price. So in this scenario, I'm going to do a 5-year term, a 3-year term, and a 2-year term. So in this scenario, the property is $725,000, and I'm going to say $3,200 a month, and not for any rent credits in this scenario. So the agreed price for this property in 5 years would be $725,000. So as you say, would that make sense? But what would happen here is the person would come into the property with down payment towards the purchase price, and they would stay in this property for 5 years, rent it for $3,200, and they would pay the seller the agreed price after a 5-year term. As a seller, what is the benefits? Well, you can stay in that property and collect, 5 years of rent. Um, the tenant in most cases, this is all agreed, it's not written in stone, but the tenant in most cases, because in this case most of the time it would be a good house, so the tenants would be responsible for all maintenance and repairs. um, Tenants most likely be responsible for the utilities, and there's a high probability that tenants who would put a large down payment towards the purchase of the property would go ahead and purchase that property. Also, as a seller and you're doing a lease option, in most cases, there are no real estate agent fees to pay. Um, I'll probably go a little bit more if you guys, want to get more information on it. You can probably, you know, contact me via our Facebook page, and if you want to ask questions as in, so how this can work, and you can always contact me via my Facebook page. You can answer some more questions there, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, and ask any questions from the comment section as well. Um, Also, there's some disadvantages to being the seller as well. The length of time. So in this case, you have to wait 5 years before you can be cashed out for the property. This is providing the tenant buyer choose to exercise the option at the end of the 5-year period. The good thing about this though is that at the end of 5 years, you can do this all over again. So you can, by that time the property would have probably gone up in value, and you probably collect another deposit and you go again, providing the person does not exercise their option. Um, Another disadvantage could be management fees if you're worried about the tenants, maybe trashing your property and so on. But I believe something as simple as insurance could probably look after that for you if you weren't too keen about using a property manager. But property manager could probably, come in here and, maybe collect the rents for you and make sure that the tenant buyers are keeping the property in good condition and so on. All right, and option two would be, because this is a shorter term, you may probably want to decrease the price, or as a seller, you may want to look at reducing the price because the tenant buyer will be looking to exercise that option in a shorter period. You may take a little less rent because of a shorter time period, whereas in the first option, uh, there's a little bit more because of the length of time, so you may want to collect a little bit more in rents there. But as you notice here, there's uh, 0 rent credits offered. And again, this is not written in stone, this is just an example. So all that happens here is an agreement in between buyer and seller, what they agree to. So this could be a 25% rent credit over 5 years, a 50% rent credit over 5 years. So again, it all depends on what the buyer and the seller agrees to. Right, so back to option 2. In this scenario, I've used a 3,000 rent payment over 3 years with a 50% rent credit, which equates to $54,000 in 3 years, which would be the agreed price at the end of the lease would be $641,000. So with this example, what would happen is the tenant buyer would then look for financing at the end of the lease for $641,000. The advantages remain the same. You look for your cash out in 3 years, providing again, and by cashing out, by taking lease for this period of time, it allows the seller, the property the price to adjust to market conditions and so on. All right. But as I was saying earlier, the advantages kind of remain the same. Again, this tenant responsible for maintenance and repairs. They're responsible for utilities. High probability they will purchase the property at the end of it's no guarantee, but high probability they would purchase at the end of the lease because they've made a down payment towards the purchase price. Again, no real estate agent's fees, and again, this is not written in stone. Again, it all depends on the agreements and so on. Disadvantage pretty much remains the same, just that it goes from 5 years to 3 years. And the last option or scenario here is again $695,000, but this is agreed on 2 years, $3,000 a month again. But as you can see here, the purchase price is $100,000, which equates to $72,000 towards the purchase price. So this tenant buyer looks for $623,000 at the end of 2 years. And why so much rent credits? Because it's a shorter period, so it allows the seller to cash out quicker than if you have to wait 3 or 5 years to actually get the remainder of money for the property. Right. So as I said, this is just one of the creative financing scenarios that a seller can give. Instead of just the property sitting there with no one in it, you can collect some money over a period of time, help with the maintenance of the house. This lease can probably go towards the taxes and whatnot. Again, if you're worried about people trashing the property, there's insurance. You can probably do it and lose insurance, or you can lose a property manager, which should help in that scenario. So again, guys, you can find me on Facebook. I'll post my link to the bottom of this page. You can find me on Facebook, We Buy Houses. I've got lots of information there for you. So you can find my page there. I'll post it again in my Facebook page, We Buy Houses Barbados. You can always engage here. Give me some likes. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message, any questions that you may have or anything. So until guys, I'll keep you updated. I'll probably post this on my Facebook page as well, so you guys can keep updated with this video. Or you can come to my YouTube channel and subscribe so that as I add videos, you would always get any updates or reviews or anything that I may have. So until then, take care.